Hello everyone, sorry for the delay. So I was working on my TEDx speech when my mom barged in demanding to see an update on it because I'd exceeded the due line she set for me. The problem is my notes were scattered across the Google Docs randomly. When she saw the chaos of my screen, she froze. Literally, she just stood there unmoving, staring at my screen like it had done the worst crime imaginable. When she finally spoke, she said, "What is this, Anagha? Where is your pen and paper? Why haven't you written down anything?" I was stunned. Did she actually think I'd write down a 10-minute speech by hand? Naturally, I refused. I had no intention of putting myself through that kind of torture. And me being just as stubborn as my mom, thanks to genetics, this led to a very heated debate. Which was better, pen and paper or Google Docs? I mean, come on, what if I get an awesome idea for my speech when I'm in bio class learning about DNA fingerprinting, or if I'm going for a walk in a park, or if I'm just chilling with my friends? Using Google Docs and my phone or laptop, I can instantly write down my thoughts and keep it all in one file, organized and neatly. If I'd followed my mom's rather traditional method, I'd have to carry a pen and paper with me everywhere, completely impractical. So this is when I realized this debate wasn't even about how or where I'm going to write my speech. It was about unlearning. My mom, she didn't have technological appliances like my laptop, or she didn't know, and she was always taught that pen and paper were the best ways to organize her thoughts. But me, I have the access to my laptop, my phone, Google Docs, Google Drive, etc., making my work so much more easier and efficient. I told her the same, and as time passes, humans find innovative ways to make life easier. Then she looked at me blankly, actually considering it. So I won the argument, and a small smile lit up her face because her daughter was finally putting her learning of unlearning into practice. Okay, so here we are learning about the art of unlearning, something our generation has mastered better than any before us. And at the rate this world is evolving in, unlearning is no longer like a choice or an option for you all. It's a necessity. It's compulsory for you all to learn unlearning. And mental agility is being emphasized and promoted almost on all the corners of the world. And unlearning and relearning are the key characteristics of a truly agile mind. Successful people like Albert Einstein, Agatha Christie, and even Dr. B.R. Ambedkar have unlearned. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar never let a mere caste system define his worth or value and fought against discrimination in India. Did you know our school practices unlearning? Before I joined the school, I couldn't open Gmail, like barely. My technical skills were limited to Control-C, Control-V, and double-clicking an app to open it. So during the lockdown when I joined it, I had a bit of a challenge trying to adjust to these new technical appliances and all. So even after the lockdown, we're using softwares like ManageBack and SNIS Parent, where our teachers never forget to upload the homework regularly. I really wish they did. But they don't, and very, very focused and dedicated teachers we have. And from this, we have learned that assignments and PBAs needn't always be assigned by paper, but we can also use modern technology to save our time, resources, and our students' brains. Speaking about technology, I think most of us have used AI, ChatGPT, U.com, Perplexity, etc., etc. Unlearning is so important that even AI needs to unlearn now. For example, a student sharing his client's information for the PhD portfolio might finally stop doing so and ask AI to unlearn whatever data he has provided till now. And their AI needs to go along with it, and sometimes the accuracy and the performance of the AI might reduce. So there are entire technical firms out there trying to code and teach AI into unlearning so that they give us more efficient responses. Now, I'd like to share another example, one that involves the winter break, my grandma's house, and food. So if you know anything about Indian grandmothers or grandmothers in general, it's that they measure their love in food servings. my grandmother's metric is 4 gigantic puris, 3 vadas, and whatever sweet she has made, a minimum of 2 servings of that. When you're bursting at the seams, she'll cheerfully add, you know, in our time, people used to eat 5 or 6 puris. This generation eats nothing. I returned home, only to be greeted by my dad with the question, how is it that you always gain weight when you visit grandma's? And honestly, that, had an impact on me. I realized I wasn't just eating the food, I was consuming a belief. Food equals love. The more you eat, the more you care. And that's when it clicked. I needed to unlearn this habit. Unlearning is more than just dropping bad habits. It's more about recognizing that what might have once worked for you may no longer serve you, and what might have worked for others may not work for you. It's something like decluttering your cluttered closet. You don't give away the clothes because they're old, but because they don't fit you anymore or they aren't stylish. Let's take businesses for example. During COVID-19, Shark Tank was my lifeline. And in that show, they were pushing entrepreneurs to create more relevant and more adapting products to this age. Zepto was created during the lockdown, and it shattered the belief that 10-minute delivery meant you have to compromise on the quality of the product. I recently installed Zepto in my grandparents' phone, and they have been so thankful to it because it saves a lot of time. We've almost ordered everything from groceries to cleaning supplies and even raw mangoes. It's the season now. Moving forward, even our scriptures, they uphold unlearning. There's a Sanskrit proverb called Yatha Kalam Tada Charat, which means one must act according to his time. And this highlights the importance of adapting to change to remain successful, happy, and relevant. This principle holds true even in modern times. Barack Obama, one of the most renowned politicians in the world, he centered his campaign around change. And in fact, his quotes and slogans like change we can believe in and yes we can were the reason for his success and securing his place in history as US's first African American president. Now, I've stated so many examples, right? How do you unlearn? Well, for that, I'd like to introduce a strategy called I-Bowl. Firstly, there's I, identify. The first step is to identify and spot which mindset is holding you back. While this belief might be well-intentioned and stereotypically good for you, trust me, it's not. It's holding you back from achieving and reaching your true potential. For example, my aunt who wanted to move to the US hesitated because she had to unlearn driving on the left side of the road. So, a skill she had practiced for years and even decades together needed unlearning and relearning, and the discomfort held her back. Just like driving, many of us have these outdated beliefs that are holding us back, making unlearning essential for us. Then there's B, believe. Believe that letting go of this idea or mindset will benefit you. The moment I stopped eating out of obligation and out of genuine and pure appreciation, I started actually, liking eating food. And I realized I wasn't just saying no to extra calories or bursting my stomach open, I was saying yes to mindful and genuine eating. So it's not just unlearning, it's relearning. And then there's O, owning it. Here's the tough part. You need to take responsibility for your process. You can't blame your grandma's dishes. Owning it means embracing the discomfort of saying, I've been doing this wrong and I need to change it. It's something like stretching your new pair of jeans out from the washer. Very uncomfortable and painful at first, but so worth it in the end. Then there's W, walk, which means you need to start putting your unlearning into action. For me, it was gently telling my grandma that, I'll have only 2 puris, and you can tell me more about how you made this or who taught you this recipe. So remember, it's not about perfection, it's more about progress. Tiny steps matter. I think majority of us have traveled at least once in their lifetime in an auto in Bangalore. Guess what? Unlearning comes in here too. People are moving away from old payment methods and shifting to more convenient options like Google Pay, PayPal, Paytm, and other UPI platforms. Auto drivers, seeing the rise in apps like Ola, Uber, and Namayatri, have either joined these apps or they've raised their price to an Ola cabs. Now, this is extremely unfair, I know, but they are letting go of what doesn't benefit them and embracing more modern opportunities. And finally, there's L, living. When you live what you've unlearned, you don't just change your habits, you change your life, an unknown person said. And when you live your new mindset, it's the most crucial part of your unlearning journey. I have implemented my unlearning almost everywhere. I discuss healthy eating habits with my parents, my friends, family, anyone who wants to. And I also follow pages like Satvik Moment and FitTuber on Instagram and YouTube, broadening my knowledge about the topic. Unlearning also meant I had to bring this clarity to other areas of my life, like my studies, relationships, how I spend my time, how I structure my day, and etc. In conclusion, unlearning is not about rejection, it's about evolution. It's not about ditching your old habits, it's more about fitting them to the you are today. So now I still cherish my grandmother's food, but I eat it with gratitude and not guilt. Would you eat the same thing you ate today, tomorrow, the next month, the next year, the rest of your lives? Wouldn't you feel uncomfortable and odd at just the thought of eating the same dish again and again? The same thing applies here. Every day we leave our house with the same old beliefs, values, and mindsets, and that's stopping us from growing into our true selves. This is because although our food choices may change from cow milk and then to plant-based milk, our beliefs and values surprisingly don't. And this is because they create a false sense of comfort, a faulty barrier, and an inconsistent FOMO. Breaking through these barriers with eyeball will help you reach your true potential and unlearn perfectly. So as you leave this room today, think about your own eyeball. What will you identify, believe, own, walk toward, and live for? Let's unlearn the old to make space for something newer and fresher. Happy unlearning, and may the best happen to you. Oh yeah, shout out to Ping, Ishanvi, Mansi, and Shriya because they helped me a lot through this unlearning process. Thank you.